This is the Sports Talk Podcast, Episode 8. I'm your host, Campbell Donovan, and another guest on today. He is from my town, Lyndhurst, New Jersey, Southern Bergen County. Best pizza, bagel spots, uh, diners as well. But in Lyndhurst, we like to argue about bagel joints, pizza spots, and diners. So we get it, the comeuppance around here in Southern Bergen County, but he's a good friend of mine, very close to him. I think of him as another little brother because, I've known this kid since he was a little kid. His family is wonderful people, comes from a great family. Grandparents are wonderful people. His mom and dad are amazing parents. His eldest siblings are great people as well. He's the youngest and I would say the last of the DeMarco clan to enter LHS. And he's a rising senior. He is a fullback for the LHS varsity football team, the 2019 North 1, North 2 Group 1 state sectional champion, Lyndhurst Golden Bears. He also wrestles for the Golden Bears, and he's also a shortstop slash second base, wherever you put him for the LHS varsity baseball team. He is Anthony DeMarco, or AKA DeMarco, as I said before in my last episode, because we had his brother on. But we got to call him DeMarco because that's a Lyndhurst thing. So, Ant, thank you for coming on, brother. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. I know I gave a whole spiel, but if there's a little more to your resume, I guess you can shout it out to the folks here who are listening.
Thanks, man. Campbell, first off, thanks for having me on. Been excited about this day all week. Been excited to talk to you. Campbell basically covered it all. Three of my siblings played sports here at LHS. Last year here, kind of last of the group. Played fullback last year. Going to play running back this year. Wrestled 160 pounds for Lyndhurst this year. And then I played a little utility for baseball. But that's the spiel about me.
So I know you're some big sports fans here and there. Baseball, we'll get started with baseball and the opposite of your brother Matthew,
Yep.
because he's a Yankee fan. You are a big supporter of the Metropolitans, or should I say, meet the Mets. Everybody, let's meet and greet the Mets. And those guys in the blue and orange pinstripes in Queens that play in City Field, even though you got this whole stacked lineup without Noah Syndergaard, who has Tommy John surgery. I mean, you got Dylan Betances, you got the guy that graduated where my brother goes to high school, Rick Porcello. You got Marcus Stroman, and undoubtedly what the other friend, Mr. Michael Cooper, said, the best pitcher in New York, the GOAT, Jacob DeGrom. So how do you feel about your Mets this year with baseball coming back in a couple of weeks?
I'd like to start off by saying, despite what my brother thinks and my dad thinks and my brother-in-law, Jacob DeGrom's the king of New York, best pitcher in baseball. But I feel the 60-game season could be the Mets' strong suit. And, I mean, any team can win 60 games and go play playoff series. But you look at our rotation, like you said, I mean, we got Stroman, DeGrom, Porcello. Now that's a huge advantage. And we got Steven Matz, who that's 4 quality starters right there. And then Betances was a huge addition to the bullpen. I still have faith in Edwin Diaz, despite last year's blow up. I don't even know how to describe that because that was brutal. But I like our bullpen with Betances, Familia, who's still quality. Seth Lugo, huge reliever. I think one of the best relievers in baseball. But our lineup, like you said, our lineup's nuts. I mean, you got McNeil, who can hit for average. Conforto, power/average. Alonso, need I say more? Wilson Ramos.
Bear.
The polar bear, baby. We got Wilson Ramos, Ahmed Rosario, probably going to be one of the best shortstops in the league in a few years. Brandon Nimmo. And that's like, we have a quality team, and we're slept on a lot because of how bad our organization is. If you want to say like our front office, who doesn't treat our players or the fans with like any type of respect or love for the team. But I'm going to make a bold prediction right now. I say we NLCS or World Series.
That's pretty bold here because you look at the other team in New York, and I went on a little runoff with your brother yesterday, and I mean, they need to add one more piece, and I think they got it with Garrett Cole and the 27-time world champion New York Yankees. But from top to bottom, I mean, Gio Urshela, Yellen Duhar, Gleyber Torres, DJ LeMahieu, Luke Voigt, Gary Sanchez, Kyle Higashioka, catcher's position, both in the catcher's position, which is pretty great. Mike Talkman, get John Carlos Stanton, Brett Gardner, Aaron Hicks, and then of course number 99, Aaron Judge. But I mean, for the Yankees, I mean, it's World Series a bust for them and stuff. But I could totally see them go to the World Series with the staff they have with, again, Cole, Tanaka, Severino, Domingo Germán coming back, and then you got Tommy Kahnle in the bullpen, Amadavino. I almost forgot James Paxton, Chad Green as well. And then you got number 54, the Cuban Missile, coming out of the bullpen. Big lefty, throwing 105 at you with the Roldis Chapman. And, yeah, I mean, it's the Yankees. They're looking for 28 this year. They haven't won one in a decade, but, they still have to claim how many championships that they have. So what are your thoughts on what I think the puppet strings have been pulled in the Bronx with Brian Cashman and the hierarchy that is the Steinbrenner family?
Arguably, no debate. They're the best lineup in baseball. Best through, like you said, 1 through 9, best lineup in baseball. Probably top 5 pitching staffs in baseball. Probably the best bullpen in baseball. But you said it yesterday talking to my brother. Can they hit for that average that they need? Because when it comes to a Game 7 or a 7-game series, you can't rely on the long ball when you're playing at Minute Maid in Houston, because that's a big field. You can't rely on the short porch and right and left at Yankee Stadium. So I think although they have all these power hitters, they really only have, 2 or 3 guys who really break for average. You got LeMahieu, you got Gleyber, who can hit for a decent average, and you got Brett Gardner, who's that slappy lefty out of the lefty's batter's box, who's always able to put a bunt or a slap single down. So, go on.
Yeah, sadly. So, I mean, like you said, the Yankees, they got power hitters and they got small ball guys. But I think the problem is that, like, they rely so much on the long ball that Aaron Judge hasn't, like, I'm sorry. Yeah, Aaron Judge as well, but with Aaron Boone, their manager, too many Aarons on the team. And that they should be playing a little bit more small ball, I guess, because I think that's been like their weakness, because they haven't been playing small ball. They always look at the left field pole or the right field pole, or they look at dead straight center by where Monument Park is, and they just pick a spot and hit it. I mean, and what I think what killed us sometimes is the loss of Didi Gregorius to the Phillies, him leaving, and of course with Dylan Betances going to the Mets. I mean, he's gonna stay in New York, just not play in the Bronx. So he's gonna be traded the navy blue black for
the better colors,
for some orange and blue. So to get from the New York teams a bit, I do again sadly but surely, because people say that you don't need to talk badly about them because they already have a World Series from uh, 2 years ago prior. I mean, you fire your GM, then this whole scandal comes out. You let your manager go because of this stuff, and then that day in early February, I believe, you trade your heart and soul, the face of the franchise, and then you let one of your best starters to the team that you beat the year prior in the World Series. And sadly but surely, I'm a Red Sox fan, and everyone would know that because I talk highly of them. But then now, as you look at it, it's just a dwindling shred of, I would say, a little bit mix of mediocrity and a little bit of rebuilding wise, because you look at the Red Sox now, no more Mookie, and everyone, and I mean Yankee fans say, "Oh, where's Mookie in the spring training lineup?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's in LA right now with a stacked lineup with a fantabulous pitching staff and a team that could contend for a World Series too, and probably break over the hump. And so with the Red Sox, I mean, you got Rafi Devers at third. Xander Bogaerts, arguably one of the best shortstops in the American League. I have to make that argument because everyone says, "Oh, Glaber this, Glaber that." Uh, Michael Chavis, the Ice Horse, yes, that is his nickname, at second base. Mitch Moreland at first base. You got Jonathan Lucroy, who we got, I guess, or I should say the Red Sox got. And then you got Christian Vasquez doing the catching duties as well with Lucroy whenever it happens. And we got Andrew Benintendi left field, Jackie Bailey Jr. at center field, and then you got Superman, Kevin Pillar in right field, and then you got Swaggy. I'm going to call him Swaggy from now on because this guy got all the drip. He's got this swagger, tenacity. He's got a great batting stance. He's got a beautiful swing. He's going to have a decent of a cannon. He's going to have a seed of an arm in a couple years. Alex Verdugo. I'm going to be a huge Alex Verdugo fan, big Doogie fan in a couple years. But I mean, he's gonna love that pesky pole out in right field, where the bullpen and the triangle meets in Fenway Park. But I'm very skeptic about my Red Sox this year with the moves that John Bloom has made already. The new GM of the Boston Red Sox, formerly of the Tampa Bay Rays. We all know how the Rays did last year. They took the Astros to 5 games. I mean, you looked at the Rays last year and you're like, this team can either upset a heavily favored team, or you look at the division wise, or they're going to ruin your chances and probably make the playoffs. And this Rays team is going to possibly ruin a divisional championship run or a wild card run for a team, because I'm very excited to see where the Rays go in a couple years, because I mean, it's like, again, it took John Bloom a couple years, a long time, I guess, to have his team rebuild. And I gotta ask you first, because look, you're a Mets fan, and look, I love the Mets as well. I mean, I got no disrespect for the Mets. I loved their run that ended shortly because, of course, the Brewers were just too good. And then whatever happened to Yelich, I mean, I don't know. But where can you see the Red Sox go in a couple of years with, like, sort of rebuilding, I guess you could say, but, like, probably adding more because, look, no Chris Sale. They're going to heavily rely on Nathan Eovaldi and Juan Rodriguez. We have a detrimental bullpen, and then you have Brandon Workman in the closing position.
So, from personal experience watching the Mets rebuild for the longest time and hopefully break out of that rebuilding session soon. I almost think that the Red Sox are kind of in the middle of rebuilding and taking the next step. As you said, 2 years ago, World Series champions. And now, I mean, you still have the pieces. You still got Benintendi, who's young. He's young, and he made stellar plays for you 2 years ago, and he can hit the ball. Jackie Bradley Jr., who's a Gold Glove candidate every year and can hit for average. Kevin Pillar, I must say, I love Kevin Pillar's game because of that. He has no fear in that outfield, and he's able to go up for any type of ball. And that short little fence in right for in Fenway could be a little help for him. He might fly over that like Torrey Hunter did in the 2013 World Series.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, Xander Bogaerts, probably the second best shortstop, can compete with Glaber for that best shortstop position. So I think the Red Sox won't be as bad as certain people think they'll be, because you know what? You add a pitcher or two and throw in a bullpen arm here or there, you guys are in competition again. And you know, as just as well as my brother does and as any baseball fan does, that AL East, that you can never determine that division, because 2 years ago everyone thought that was all the Yanks. Red Sox win that division. And then the Rays last year, they took that division by storm. So I think that your Red Sox will be okay.
So let's move on to some high school sports. I want to talk about high school football because my current alma mater, Lyndhurst High School, the Golden Bears, based out of Lyndhurst, New Jersey, Southern Bergen County. I did a whole spiel before doing the intro, but I mean, I know it's the last year for you. I mean, you're coming off a state sectional championship and a crushing regional bowl game or regional championship, whatever they want to call it now. Hard loss to a well run and great Verona team. And I want to get your thoughts on what you're looking forward to this upcoming season. I mean, with the coronavirus still playing a role, I mean, with the whole restrictions and stuff, the whole the whole protocols of whatnot, and that's the first question. And the second question is, I know we have some trophies to bestowed upon. I mean, there's been a trophy, I believe, with our rivalry against Heights back in the day, against Beckton. We have a quote-unquote rivalry with Sea Caucus, and then you add Northallerton in the mix. But there's one trophy that we haven't had in a while, haven't had for 9 years, coming this November. It's called the Hall of Fame Trophy, and it's being held by the 2017 and 2018 North 2 Group 2 state section champion, Rutherford Bulldogs, our rival. But that's my other question. What was your reaction? So, first of all, what are you looking forward to this season and your senior season, your last go around with these kids that you've grown up playing with? And then, second, what was your first reaction to hearing that you guys are going to be playing Rutherford at Rutherford week 1?
So to answer the first question, I couldn't have pictured my senior year basically starting like this with the whole COVID restrictions and everything going on. But I'm excited because these are kids that I've played with my whole life. From 7 years old to 17, I played with these kids, Little League, rec league football, and I'm excited to have my last dance with them. Young, and you know what? Let's take on the challenge, man. No challenge is too big. We're coming off a big year last year. Let's ride that horse. That's over now. Let's go off this year and compete, man. That's all I want. I want to just compete.
Good.
And then to answer your second question, the Rutherford game, I've wanted that since November 15th, 2018. that's the day we lost. That's the day we lost the state section at Rutherford my sophomore year, and I'm excited, man, for that game because knowing the Rutherford kids there and knowing our group, I'm excited because I have the NJIC trophy. I have the state sectional trophy. There's just one trophy I'm missing, and that's the Hall of Fame trophy that one of my brothers acquired, but Matt did not. So I'm looking forward to compete for that trophy this year and hopefully bring that back to the L-Town.
Yeah. So I mean, you look at it like Lyndhurst, Rutherford, not even separated by a square mile. I mean, look, I'm out of high school. I mean, I talk to kids from there. They still talk to me. I mean, I go to school with some of the kids. I mean, we talk about high school football and stuff. Like we blab on about it, but like, I mean, as soon as like this week, that week's gonna come. I mean, it's gonna be like it's gonna come quick. What would it mean to finally get that trophy back? I mean, it's been a long time, but Coach Troy has been there before. I mean, you saw that picture with him and quarterback coach Danny Kisak, DK, with that trophy. What would that mean to have that trophy back in Lyndhurst for the senior class?
To bring that back after 9 long years actually, a state sectional championship loss, a state playoff loss 2 out of the 3 years, that would mean probably close to the state sectional championship. And I know that's a big championship to win, but this is something I wanted for a long time, just to get one more shot at them, one more hoorah, and to be able to play for that week 1, I'm excited, man. That would mean the world to me, and I would love to get that trophy back. I'd love that.
That's good. So I'll branch off a couple more sports. I mean, look, you have friends that I've known since they were kids, particularly who played for girls soccer, boys soccer, and other fall sports. I mean, you look at these kids. I mean, they're great athletes. They're great kids, and I just love how like you guys are just like so close, and it means to us the whole like as a whole community like we like stick together and stuff. I mean, it looks because we have a couple commits in your senior class that are great kids, great athletes, and I mean just to like branch off a bit how like it's so important to like have like a close bond with like athletes and most pulling your friends and like encouraging them, cheering for them, or like and stuff. Cause like we have that like mentality to like have that chip on their shoulder.
Mm-hmm. So I've said this for the longest time. Whether you're a boys soccer player, girls soccer player, boys volleyball, girls volleyball, football, baseball, softball, girls, all those sports, we wear the same colors at the end of the day. We walk the same hallways at the end of the day, and we all bleed blue and gold. So it doesn't matter what sport you're playing or who your coach is or how good you think one team is better than the other. At the end of the day, we're all a family, man. And we all want to achieve the same goals, and we all want to see each other succeed. Like, I would love to see the boys soccer team, girls soccer team, and all those teams bring home state sectional champions, because I want that feeling for everyone. That was the greatest feeling in the world, and I want everyone deserves to experience that feeling. So like you said, it's fun to be that close knit. And to branch off that a little bit, as you were saying, supporting one another, I'll come bring up a little memory. So as you know, Dylan Weaver, Rutgers commit, he spent his first year at Bergen Catholic, and we were friends then, and we didn't talk to each other as much, and I wanted to see him succeed at Bergen Catholic. But now he's back in Lyndhurst, and he became one of my very best friends, and now it's just like it's that Lyndhurst family, man. No matter where you go, how far you go, you're always a Lyndhurst kid, and that's what I feel is the biggest thing, is that just being a Lyndhurst kid and just loving each other and supporting each other, can't beat it. It's the best feeling in the world to just be there for one another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean like when I graduate, I look at like the seniors like who just graduate. I mean, like of course we're like all close, and then I look at the kids who play for girls soccer. I've known those kids since they were little. And then boys soccer, of course. I mean, I've known all those kids. I went to school with them. You look at all the cross-country kids, track and field, the hockey players, the wrestlers, the boys basketball players, girls basketball, track and field in the springtime. Then you got the baseball players, the softball players, eventually the lax players. And I think it's just so good that we have just like this close, tight community where like we just like stick together as one. And I'll bring back a memory that'll probably it's a little emotional, but I mean I remember talking about uh the week after Coach Fausto Arcetalis passed away, and that whole week was just like devastating because like all of us we were friends with Gabe, and that he meant so much to those kids on the soccer team, and all of us go to the boys soccer game that Monday night against Sea Caucus, and they beat them 4-3. And I remember looking at, I believe he was the captain at the time, RJ Alvarez. He was just on the ground crying, and I pick up RJ and I hugged him, and he's just like hugging in my arms, and I go over and I hug Jelsik, and I tell him that I love him, man. It's like it's that like it's like this to all of us
Yeah.
because it's just bestowed upon us when we were kids. We come here in a small town, and it's like we stick together as one. It's like no one's gonna like mess with us. No one's gonna like talk down on us and stuff. And like it's really good, special. I mean, you hear it with Coach Tuero, you hear it with Coach Altieri, you hear it with Coach Castanet, the football team, baseball as well, and you hear it with Joseph as well. I mean, he's had that family mentality ever since he came to LHS as the boys soccer coach, and it's just right there, man. I mean, I think that's what makes our town great and our kids great, and it helps them to shape it to better people.
It's the ability. It's the ability to be a community, and like I said before, support each other and going off that family mentality. You've witnessed it. Think about after every practice when Tuero would talk to us and just let us know that he was there and that all the coaches were there for us. That helps us, man. That makes us trust them and love them even more. And I'm family on three, family on me. 1, 2, 3, family, man. That's Tuero's thing. So we are a family. It's not a saying, and he's not just saying it. All these coaches mean that, and that means the world to every single one of us athletes.
So I'll wrap it off here. Anthony, I thank you again for coming on. I'll give you a couple final thoughts. I'll throw it off to you to give you a final say before I wrap it up here.
Campbell, thanks for having me, man. It's always been a pleasure. Can't wait to see you soon, and I'll see you week 1 at Rutherford Field. How does that sound?
We'll see you by that gate. Give you a big freaking hug before you guys go get that trophy back.
Yes, sir. That's the goal. That's the plan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever it may be. Go do something today. Wear a mask, social distance. Tomorrow, eat some good barbecue, burgers, hot dogs, ribs, pork rind, pork belly, steak, whatever. Listen to some good American country music or whatever is going to be on your Bluetooth speaker tomorrow. Wear your red, white, and blue tomorrow. Wishing everybody a happy 4th of July. This is Sports Talk Podcast. I'm Rose Campbell Dobbin. That was Anthony DeMarco. That is all. Thank you. And again, have a great weekend.